yeah, so like I say, when you're obviously into that level of criminality and you're getting into bits and bobs of fights, what have you, then obviously there's always going to be a bit of a backlash anyway. So I've done well, to be fair. As everyone's numerous, I've got scars multiple on my body. I've got them everywhere. I've got a bullet hole going through the trapezium muscle here, and one through the side there. So I think everyone's heard the story with the knives. They were all over the free presses and all over the mainstream medias, and there's a lot of coverage on the YouTubes of it. I was obviously stabbed to the jugular, struck here on the arm with machete, slashed down the back with Stanley knife here, on the other side with Stanley knife shoulder to shoulder. I was rolling around fighting a gang of men on my own, and someone told me that day, if I go down here this day, yeah, then I'm not going to get back up. You know what I mean? These people are trying to kill me. You know what I mean? So I just put on the best fight in my life and just fought them off, and then that was that really. But the paramedics and the air staff and the armed police, due to the shop worker was pressing the panic button underneath the counter when I was fighting in the shop. And when I was fighting with them and the knives were getting struck down and there were blood just covering all the shop. When the armed police have come, they've already took off. I'm still walking around the shop like that, and then obviously I told to lay down, put my feet up so the blood don't circulate through my body as quick. You get told to lay down and raise your legs. If anyone suffered a gunshot wound or anything like that, that's what they tell you to do. And then they gave me emergency stitching, airlifted me to Sheffield Northern General Hospital, gave me emergency waxing in my arterial bleed through my jugular on my neck. And then, yeah, basically saved my life. But yeah, I don't care what anyone says. When you go through fights like that or trauma like that, it really wakens you up what type of person you are, and gives you a major outlook on life. So yeah, I've had close encounter. That's not also a close encounter. Outside Miller and Carter in Doncaster, there was a bit of a gang feud going off. I wanted to fight this fella. This fella didn't want to fight me at all, due to a bit of shadiness. He was planning on putting a hit on me, trying to get me shot. So obviously with the confrontation side of things, he never wanted to fight. And then he basically had a team of lads up the road. They'd come in a chord car, plates on different, hung out the window with 9mm pistols. When I was coming up towards the Miller and Carter in Donegal, I thought, here we go. I had my cousin next to me, yeah, my cousin from Moorends next to me driving. Bang! First bullet hole goes through back window, both. Straight through back window, straight through window screen. Bang! Second one goes straight through side windows. And I don't care what anyone says, yeah, you don't want to take a bullet to the face. So I just fucking crouched down here side while these bullets are getting peppered into the fucking car, yeah? And while they're getting peppered in, I finally got round to the side and said, look, ram him, you're going to have to ram him. So I grabbed my hand on the steering wheel, whop, pushed the steering wheel like that, yeah, hit their side of the car. Bear in mind, it's 1 in the morning. Woof, they've drove off down the junction, but before they drove off, they've emptied the fucking clip before I went bang, back, and then bang, one's gone through fucking side of my shoulder here, straight through graze, splattered blood all over the side of the wall, bullet fragments stuck in the fucking stereo, straight through. I thought, here we go, here, what's this out of a fucking film? And then that was that really. There were big investigations going off, attempt murder, police wanted to see me, they said, do you want to put a statement in? We've got the whole incident on the traffic lights. The traffic lights camera shows these people in the car with the gunshot flashing from the Miller and Carter. And I said, look, just like the same incident in the shop where I was obviously stabbed, I said, I've ran that life. I don't make statements to police. I've never made a statement in my life and I never would. I said, I don't roll at that. You know what I mean? And there's not one person who could ever show a police witness statement I've ever made, because there's not one what exists. And we all know we can get them from depths, from any solicitors if anyone grasses or charged. No one can ever get a statement on me. I'm 100% certified. So I was about that life. So no statements. And they says, right, well, we believe these people have tried planning attempt murder on your life. We've got these for conspiracy to murder and that. Do you want to help us? I said, nah, mate. I says, I don't want to hear it. I said, look, I go about my life. I do what I do. I have fights and this and that. And I live to fight another day. That's that. I don't talk to police. You know what I mean? So that's the life you choose when you're in that game. Yeah. So,